Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of Closer by Roderick Gordon and Brian Williams. Narrated by Stephen Crossley and directed by Erica Jensen.
Part 1. Revelations. Chapter 1. Waves of flame, red through white. Hair singes, skin contracts. The sound of a rushing, howling gale as all the oxygen is sucked from the place, then the splash of water, as Rebecca too throws herself into the pool, taking her sister with her. Stunned and barely conscious, Rebecca One's body is limp like a rag doll's, but even the chill water fails to shock her to her senses. They sink below the surface, beneath the intense heat. Rebecca too clasps a hand over her sister's mouth and nose in an attempt to seal them. Then she forces herself to think. 60 seconds at the outside, she tells herself as her lungs begin to strain. What now? She glances at the raging inferno above, waves of crimson refracted by waves of water. Ignited by Elliot's charges, the bone-dry vegetation is feeding the firestorm, clogging the surface of the pool with thick black ash. And just to make matters worse, Elliot is still up there. The hateful half-breed, watching and waiting and ready to pick them off the moment they show themselves. How does Rebecca too know this? Because that's precisely what she'd do in the same situation. No, there's no going back. Not if they want to make it through this. Fumbling with her shirt pocket, she takes out a spare, luminescent orb. More seconds wasted, but she needs to see where she's going. Must decide soon, now, while I still can. For want of any alternative, she decides to push deeper down into the murky half-light, tugging her sister after her. Rebecca, too, can see that the girl is bleeding from her stomach wound, the trail of blood like wispy red ribbons swirling behind her. 50 seconds. Lightheadedness. The first sign of air deprivation. Among the tumult of bubbles and the rush of water in her ears, Rebecca too catches her sister's cries. The lack of air has brought the girl around, and her words are panicked and indistinct. She begins to struggle weakly, but Rebecca too digs her fingers hard into her arm. She seems to understand and goes limp again, allowing herself to be borne down. 40 seconds. Fighting the compulsion to open her mouth and breathe, Rebecca too continues to dive. The halo cast by her luminescent orb reveals a vertical weed-covered surface. A school of tiny fish darts away, their metallic blue scales iridescent in the light of the orb. 30 seconds. Then Rebecca too spots a shadowy opening. As she kicks out her legs and drives herself and her sister into it, her mind flashes back to a former life, to all those school swimming lessons up in Highfield. 20 seconds. She finds that it's a channel. Maybe, she dares to let herself hope, maybe. Her chest is burning. She can't hold on for much longer, but still she swims farther into the channel, checking around her as she goes. 10 seconds. She's disoriented, no longer sure what's up or what's down. Then she notices the reflection. A few yards away, light from her orb ripples back from a shifting, mirror-like patch. With her remaining strength, she takes them both toward it. Their heads break the surface of the water, bursting into a pocket of air trapped in the roof of the channel. Rebecca too fills her racked lungs, grateful that it's not methane or an accretion of some other harmful gas. Once her coughing and spluttering subsides, she checks her sister. Although the injured girl's head is clear of the water, it lolls forward. "Come on! Wake up!" Rebecca too cries, shaking her. Nothing. Then she slips her arms around the girl's rib cage and squeezes her hard several times. Still nothing. She pinches the girl's nose shut and gives her the kiss of life. "That's it! Breathe!" Rebecca too shouts, her voice booming in the enclosed space as her sister makes a small gurgling sound and water spews from her mouth. Then she inhales fully, but it only makes her choke up more water, and she starts to thrash around in a blind panic. "Easy, easy," Rebecca too tells her. "We're okay."